Hello everybody and welcome back to ISRL here. We're in Spain for the second round of the season here in Division 2 and I'm looking for, and once again it's just me, so you're going to have to bear with that for another hour or so of me just waffling. So as we ready up into the session, I'm sure we're going to get as crazy as a race as last week, if not even crazier, as we've got 15 seconds to wait before we get underway, and I'm going to guess there's going to be rain this week. That's my thought, which is just going to make things even crazier. Well, not in quality anyway. As we will wait. So quickly run through the order of last week's race. I can't seem to find the steward report, so there probably is some changes to this if I remember correctly. But Lorenzo on track did take the win. In first place, a very good drive from the Ferrari driver himself. CPI de Rouge was second. ISRL Jarno in third. That's his new name, if anyone doesn't know, obviously. ISRL Knight in fourth. Real DC in fifth, and so on. So that obviously will be the standings as well, because we've only had one round, and we also had drivers missing and stuff. I'm sure of that as well, as I do have a bit of a better knowledge of the drivers this week, which is, I'm sure, good to hear, as the first driver out on track today is Stub 050. I'm going to have massive problems with that in the race, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's find out what tyres everyone is on. So Spain, if I'm honest, I have no idea the strategy. I think it's medium hard or soft hard, just about. I'm trying to remember now. I don't remember the softs being a good tyre here. I don't think they ever have been a good tyre here, to be honest. So I'm going to keep that in mind, as we do see quite a lot of medium tyres as it stands at the minute. For people choosing that for their first lap in quali, which, I mean, if you did want to go the mediums, I wouldn't suggest going for the medium tyre on their first run, because then you've got nothing to do for the next, 15 minutes or so. As we will ride on board with Stub for his first lap. I'm pretty sure first lap of the season, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember him racing last week. Going into the first corner now, late on the brakes, touches that inside curb just about so you don't get spun off, which I'm sure we'll see a lot of this weekend. Takes a nice and wide overhead, cuts back into the inside, which is obviously faster in the game, not in real life, but fourth gear, hits the apex, lovely there, going into the start of sector 2. Now we've got a downhill braking zone, which is always quite tricky, especially if you're running no ABS. Get a lot of lockups going into that corner. Now into the fast right here, quite one of the easiest places to invalidate on the track, I would say. Fast right-hander now, almost flat. You can almost push it flat in quali, if you're brave enough and you got the right setup, as he goes into the end of sector 2. 50.8, obviously. Even I don't know the good times around here. I was doing slow lap times in time trial earlier, so I'm guessing they're going to be around the times I'm doing. If not slower, because obviously people are going to be on the mediums as well, as he takes a very cautious approach to the last few corners there, does Stub. But he gets his lap across the board and it's a 1:17.2. A good banker, a good banker, just to get his lap time on the board. I don't think it's going to be the fastest of the session, unfortunately for him. As Farifuri goes 1:10 off on the medium tyres, which, as his teammate, I'm sure he'll be quite happy with. And then Godly Nub, still saying that wrong, then decides to go on a 16.8 on those soft tyres, with RJ only 3/10 behind on those mediums as well. So RJ, after the unfortunate events that occurred last week, I'm sure we'll be hoping for a better result this week, and to start maybe a title charge for the Constructors Elite with Ariel Passe, who both, I think, maybe not looking at the Austria pace, but them, Ferrari, Red Bull, There's quite a few teams that are all similar pace. Obviously, if you didn't know already, in ISRL they've done a pot system where there's pot 1 and pot 2 and then they team up together, so which is, I think, is a really cool idea. I've said this last week as well, but so yeah, it makes it a lot more interesting for the constructors battles, as the teams are a lot more evenly spread throughout the field, that's for sure. As Passe is going to encounter some traffic by the looks of it on this, it's not on a lap, so it doesn't make a difference. That's good to know. As he goes back into the pits, and we'll find someone on an actual lap. I think Nude Potato is starting his lap, maybe not. As Yano, right behind him, does set the fastest lap of the session. Obviously carrying on that good form from Austria, where he did provisionally, before the student reports, get on the podium. I don't know if he stayed on there or not. Not too sure. But let's ride on board with the Irish Potato as we go into end of sector 1. He does say it's purple. How much I believe that, I'm not too sure. But 6/10 up on his current lap time. He's going to need to find a bit more time for the rest of the lap to get even ahead of Passe at the minute. And we shall see. Takes the middle sector part of this lap very nicely. This is where you need the downforce, so it's not really an overtaking circuit here. So obviously you're going to be running a lot higher downforce compared to most other tracks. It's purple sector 2 apparently. Once again, how true that is, I'm unsure. But it seems to be a very solid lap so far from the McLaren driver, keeping it very tidy throughout the corners, and as long as he doesn't mess up the last few corners. I think he hit the curb too much there, unsettled the car slightly, but he'll come across the line. What time will it be? Puts some P4 in the McLaren, so a very good lap indeed from the McLaren driver. So yeah, as we're almost halfway through the session, we are currently starting to see a bit of a representation of where drivers are going to be today in pace wise. Obviously we've still got the likes of ISRL Knight, Lorenzo De Rouge, some of the quick drivers from last week to set a lap, so I'm still fairly unsure of where how this grid's gonna end up. So yeah, as we are back on board with everyone going back into the pits to get ready for their second lap, which is just great. We're gonna have to find someone else. Where? Let's go on board with Lorenzo, shall we? As the race winner of last week, did have very good pace throughout the race as well in that Ferrari. We'll be hoping for a back-to-back win, I'm sure, today. As he is 6 seconds up on his lap. I mean, that puts him quite a, I'm going to guess around the front of the grid, I'm going to presume. As he comes across the line now, wow, that's a very good lap indeed from the Ferrari driver. Pretty sure that's quicker than me on time trials, so, you know. If you don't see me commentating next week, it's probably because I've been demoted to Division 2 in this as well. As we're going to ride back on board with Godly Noob, who's already a 10th up on his lap time as well, so the times are tumbling as the drivers find a lot more confidence in this track, and obviously the track gets better as obviously once you've got a first banker in, you do tend to gain more confidence. You can feel like you're able to push the car more, especially in the position of the likes of Farrell Fury, who's also done a very good lap on those soft tyres, and Lorenzo. They're in very good position now. They can push the car to the limit, and they're already in good position for the rest of the session. So Godly Noob decides to pit. That did great. He's on the outlier. Let's ride on board with RJ, shall we? The Mercedes keeps it nice and close to the apex there. Obviously got Nazareth there, laying him through very nicely. Down to 4th gear here. Here we go, 2nd. He will it be up? Yeah, quick upshift to 4th actually to get the traction. Make sure to get the traction down. Comes across the line. Obviously his original lap was on mediums, and he puts himself P4. So yeah, very good lap indeed from the Mercedes driver there. As he very rapid. Passé has done a very good lap on those medium tyres. Obviously halfway through the session now, so he does have a good sense of where his time could be come the end of the session. 16.9, maybe you want to be, if you can get around the 16.8, 16.7, I think that be able to put him comfortably on those mediums in the top 10 or not come the end of the session. So it'd be interesting to see what Passé does at the end of this session, as he's still got quite a long time left to I don't know, have a beer, have a drink. Who knows what he's going to do. As I'm going to find up some cool facts about Barcelona whilst we wait, because I'm already running out of things to say, because qualifying can get boring. So as we do ride on board with Nautilus now, who's setting his lap, he'll be hoping to get a bigger improvement on his lap time already, as he currently sits P12. He doesn't actually improve. Maybe he's going again, who knows. As Jarno retires from the session, that is on track as well. Yes, indeed, he has binned it in on the 2nd DRS straight, which, I mean, I'm sure we've all done once or twice before. So did you know Barcelona has 2 official languages? I don't want to take a free Spanish test, no. It is divided into 17 regions, Barcelona. Obviously Catalunya is one of them, which is where we are today. Very nice place actually in real life. I'm lucky, very fortunate to have gone to this track myself once, and even though the race itself wasn't brilliant, as Irish Potato goes on pole in the McLaren. But yeah, it's a very, very nice track, especially in sunny weather. So yeah, the session is heating up now. We've got a few of the drivers from last week who we do remember seeing. From familiar faces, let's say, from last week, as we enter the final and probably the most important part of the session, as someone else has left. So yeah, at the minute, Passé, I would say, is in a very good position on P7 on those mediums. I think the top 6 in front of him on those softs should be okay. I reckon anywhere lower than P7 you start to worry on those softs, especially when the drivers behind you are already so close on those mediums. Obviously, I'm sure you're aware, but Catalunya is often used as the winter testing, so I'm not sure if it's actually been used this year or not. I'm not sure actually if it's been used for this year's new regulated cars. Honestly, I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest, if they are. I know Bahrain's been used, because I know it's not been recorded on Sky for us all to watch, which is a bit disappointing, to say the least. As so I'll stop waffling and go back on board with Fiore, who is finishing his lap. He's got 4 minutes left of the session, so he can bail out on this if he wants to, which I think he might do. It. That was a very wide corner, where he took that corner there. Don't know the names. You're gonna have to bear with me, as he does dip into the pits. As we'll jump on board with Lorenzo instead, who is now a 10th down, who is also backed out with his lap. Well, great. Leo, I don't remember him racing last week. Not too sure. Anyways, we'll leave it be, as Godly Noob is apparently a purple in the middle sector. So here we go. Max Verstappen-esque maybe, I don't know, coming through this last sector. Hopefully he doesn't do what he did in Jeddah and bin it in the wall, but coming through this final sector now, let's see how he takes it. He takes it very nicely, very smoothly once again, obviously staying away from those curves which can probably send you closer to the Portugal track than the end of Sector 3, and he does put himself ahead of RJ and into P5. It's a very, very close grid at the minute. The top 6 especially covered by 3/10. As we enter the final 2 minutes of the session, will anyone come out on those medium tyres? We shall see. As I'm going to find someone to do a lap. I think, yeah, let's ride on the cheese MLT. Bit like BLT, but you know, if that's a racing team, I'm sorry to offend you. I won't apologise, but as we go into the first sector, he's currently down on his lap. Maybe that's not a bad thing considering his B10. If there's someone like Captain Blade or Knight that improves behind him, he could well see him on the what people probably call the second pole here, where you obviously get a free choice of tyres, with the softs being so awful, I'm presuming. We shall see as we go into the middle sector. He keeps it very clean, enough doesn't spin out like Jarno did, and he's a 10th up on his lap as well now, so it currently going to be around P7, I'm going to say. If he doesn't improve obviously in the last sector, if he improved the last sector, he could be looking at the likes of RJ and Godly Noob's lap times, as Godly Noob has retired. As It's Nazareth does an amazing lap there, goes almost a 10th and a half clear at the front of the field. Wow, a stunning lap there from the AlphaTauri driver, as he puts himself on pole. As we're going to find someone on a lap. Out lap. Need to find someone at the end there. Here we go, De Will. Obviously currently sat P11 at the minute, maybe the best up, but actually I'm not sure if he would want to improve, depends how much he's up on his lap time as it stands, as he comes across the line and goes P3. Yes, you do certainly want to improve if he's doing that sort of lap time. As now we'll ride on board with RJ here going into the final 2 corners, takes those curves very nicely, obviously 4th gear trick, which seems to be working brilliantly for him as it stands. Comes across the line and improves into P7, which I'm sure he'll be quite happy with, especially, I mean, you were starting in the mid-pack, but who knows. As Irish Potato does a 16.1. Wow, these times are absolutely tumbling as it stands. As the Rouge is slightly up on his lap time as well, so it's going to put him right around Nazareth, but he doesn't have any DRS to play with, so he's going to need every slight bit of grip he can get from those soft tyres, which I'm sure are probably dead by now already. As he comes into this final 2 corners, he's got held up there slightly by whoever that was in front of him, as we shall wait and see, as we'll ride on board with Passe, then Farafiori, then Lorenzo, I think. That's the last 3. As Passe comes across the line to finish P11. Probably the perfect position, as Farafiori doesn't improve on his lap time. Lorenzo, no, he's not going to improve on his lap time, so I think that may... Hang on, let's check. Knight does not have a front wing yet. He is not improving. So yeah, there you have it. That is the end of the session. Irish Potato takes pole position in the McLaren, with a very good lap timer for 16.1. Just under a tenth separates him and Nazareth on the front row. And then we'll wait a second for everyone to retire to actually run through the proper grid. As I don't know what's going on here, as there's a Red Bull in the wall, many people in the wall, in the pits, a lot. So yeah. So it's a very, very close grid as we go into the race. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of... I'm sure this is not how the grid is going to end up at all. I mean, if it's anything like the races I've watched this season or driven in myself, there's no chance this ends as a 1, 2, 3 in that order. So, Irish Potato, I'm guessing, he doesn't have a flag, but I'm guessing he's Irish. Takes pole position. It's Nazareth in P2. CPI Rouge continuing good result from last week in P3. CRL Will in P4. Lorenzo 5th. Demort 6th. Farrow Fury 7th. RJ in 8th. Jarno, who obviously retired quite early in the session actually, in P9, so he may have a point to prove later on in this race. Godlinu may be in the worst position on those softs in P10, unfortunately for him, but in a good lap nevertheless. Otto 11th, Passe 12th, Stubb 13th, Leo 14th, Stofjan 15th, The Cheese, MLT, Blade, Knight, Wills and Real DC round off the last 5 drivers of the grid. And I'm now out of breath. Completely, actually. So, this 30-second break here will come in very handy indeed, as it looks very sunny, so we're not going to get any rain. So yeah, just what you want to see. As we shall wait and see. There's really nothing to look at apart from the DHL logos once again. But you know, we wait and see as we look at the Mercedes garage. Hopefully none of their rear wings and stuff get touched, as there's going to be a 50 grand fine coming your way if you do touch it. Sorry for that in advance. As we finally get that starting logo, which is just ever so nice to see as a commentator. But yeah, I'm going to quickly get some facts up. So, did you know the 2020 Grand Prix at Spain was supposed to take place in May and was pushed back to August due to the coronavirus pandemic? I think we all actually knew that. Michael Schumacher did see this Grand Prix as quite a favourite in the late 1990s and 2000s. However, Lewis Hamilton did equal Schumacher's Spanish Grand Prix win record last year, actually. There's obviously Fernando Alonso, quite a fan of the track as well, and he's obviously now back in Formula 1. Also quite a big following of the track, as long with Carlos Sainz. As we will find out the tyres. Surprise, everyone. Actually, I don't think I've seen that before. Every single person on the grid has chose not to go for a soft tyre outside the top 10. I think that deserves a round of applause in itself. You rarely see that. Even I wouldn't be surprised if we even saw it in Div 2, Div 1 later. I'm sure someone will. What was I saying? Yeah, tyres. If there's not rain, I'm sure someone will go on the softs outside the top 10 in Div 1. I'll actually put a 50p bet on it. So, you know, I'll be making millions tonight because I'll qualify outside the top 10 and do it myself. As Nazareth, has rejoined the session. Now, we've had similar before, I'm sure, in races I've raced, where people who disconnect during the formation lap cannot join back until after the race has started. So this must give Rouge, Will, Lorenzo, pretty much everyone in the close vicinity of Nazareth a great opportunity of getting a free position at the start. And it also gives Irish Potato a little bit of breathing space going into turn 1, as his main rival now is Rouge, straight behind him, which obviously, lining up on the grid, you want your rival to be further away, don't you? So, as we're going to try and find a camera angle, or we're just going to get this camera angle. We're just going to get this camera angle. So we shall wait and see. Everyone is lined up on the grid. Let's hope we don't have a glitched lobby. I'm praying actually we don't have a glitched lobby. We do. So this is fun. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a glitch in the lobby and everyone's tire is going to be frozen. I'm pretty sure this may be due to because Nazareth has joined back the lobby, I'm going to presume. So yeah, we shall wait and see. I'm going to quickly check the D2 chat. What is going on here? And it is a restart. Whew. Yes, great. So yeah, we are going to have a restart here. I'm going to have to get... Gonna have to get some facts up or something whilst we wait for this lobby restart. So yeah, I'm gonna get more facts up and we're gonna be chill about this as we're just gonna wait and wait and wait.